Hello, and welcome to the CWT Hands-On Guided Build-Up Overview and Navigation video. Let's navigate to that page via the remote information link on the home page. Before we get started, let's go over the purpose and goals of the Build-Up Checkpoint Labs. From a technical perspective, the purpose and goals of the Build-Up is to show you how to build a basic network from the ground up, including understanding key concepts associated with the respective implementation tasks that are completed. The successful completion of these checkpoints primarily validates your ability to follow technical instructions and acclimates to the Cisco command line interface. While the checkpoint labs do not necessarily validate your LAN/WAN skills, you will acquire the knowledge on how to implement iOS tasks, which is a minimum LAN/WAN foundational knowledge you'll need to be successful on the CWT Remote Hands-On package. While you are completing these activities, our LAN/WAN staff will be evaluating your professional and technical skills as they relate to the 4 right candidate attributes, including your ability to follow detailed written instructions, complete activities in a timely and proficient manner, demonstrate your technical aptitude and efficient learning skills, and ability to work well with others in a professional manner, among others. It is important that you are able to demonstrate the professional and technical skills as described in the 4 right candidate attributes to increase your chances to move on to the next step in the 2-step qualification process. At the top of this page, you will see a reminder for your scheduled CWT Tech Orientation, including the date and time of the call. Please ensure to review the included list of what you must have and/or have completed prior to your technical orientation. Please note that this information is subject to change from the time this video was recorded, so it is important that you review the list as shown on your built-up webpage. The next section of the webpage includes CWT Tech support hours, pod layout, and your schedule. Ensure to review the support explanation and methodology, as it will be critical for your success in the CWT remote. This section also lists the technical support hours and your dedicated pod access information. Below this section, you will see your weekly schedule, which includes your committed hours for each day of the week and a total for the week. The weekly schedule table also includes a schedule status column that will let you know if you are on schedule, ahead of schedule, or behind. If ahead of schedule or behind, it will let you know how many hours you are either ahead or behind. However, please ensure you are on schedule at a minimum, with being ahead of schedule being ideal. Below the weekly schedule, you will see the assignment table, which includes a list of assignments related to the CWT guided build-up, including checkpoints 0 through 8. This table provides the estimated time for completion of the assignment and the scheduled deadlines for the completion. If assignments are completed, they will show up as completed and show the actual time you spent to complete the assignment based on the time you specified for time spent at the time of assignment submission. For assignments you complete with multiple submissions, the actual time will be a cumulative value of the time spent for initial submission and each resubmission. If you are late on any assignments or have completed any assignments late, it will display under the status column. Please note that you can click on the assignment name links in the table to jump to that section of the web page for convenience. If you scroll down further on the web page, you will see the CWT Lab Guide Layer 2 and 3 diagram. Below the Layer 2 and 3 diagram for the CWT Lab Guide is a link to the physical diagram. You will need to utilize both diagrams for the CWT Build-Up Checkpoint 3 assignment for the VLAN mapping process, and to access the web terminal for RSW1, as it is only present on the physical diagram for the Build-Up Lab. Please note that you can access the web terminal for the devices by clicking on their icon in either one of the diagrams, or the diagrams listed at the top of the CWT Build-Up Checkpoint Lab web pages. Once you click on a device, a web terminal window will open for that device. To log into the device, you will need to input the same password you used to access the website. Note that as a security feature, the password will not be displayed as you type it in. For more details about how to access your assigned remote pod devices, please see the How Do I Access My Assigned Remote Pod Devices FAQ item on the Training FAQ page. If you scroll down further on the page, you will see the start of the assignment section. Please note that each assignment listed will consist of 3 sections, beginning with 1, a link of the guided lab and a general description of the given checkpoint, followed by 2, real-world applications that these LAN/WAN hands-on activities can be used for, and 3, a summary of actual hands-on activities that you'll need to complete. The first assignment, CWT Build-Up Checkpoint 0, is a standalone basic lab that provides a brief introduction with the Cisco Internet Working Operating System, or iOS, and the command line interface that you'll need to understand. If you have never used the Cisco iOS before, or you are new or slow with command line, this will be a critical lab for you to complete prior to starting your CWT remote. For CCNA certified and/or seasoned LAN/WAN professionals, it is a basic lab that you should simply breeze through. For more details on the Checkpoint 0 assignment, including navigation, device access, and summary of steps, please see the video titled CWT Guided Build-Up Checkpoint 0 Overview and Guidance on the Training FAQ page. Once you have successfully completed all steps for Checkpoint 0, Follow the instructions provided at the end of the CWT Buildup Checkpoint 0 webpage to submit your completed work to your My Progress Sheet. For more details regarding how to submit your work, please review the video titled My Progress Sheet Overview and Submission Instructions, and the video titled How to Copy Output from Web Terminals on the Training FAQ page and the related FAQ items. Once Checkpoint 0 is accepted as correct, you will move on to the CWT Guided Buildup Checkpoint Labs 1 through 8 to build a basic network from the ground up. Please note that these labs build upon each other, and functionality for several of the technologies configured are contingent upon accurate completion of the previous configurations and steps. As mentioned previously, all checkpoint labs can be accessed via the respective link listed in the corresponding assignment. For more details on the checkpoint 1 through 8 assignments, including navigation, device access, and guidance, please see the video titled CWT Guided Buildup Checkpoints 1 through 8 Overview and Guidance on the Training FAQ page. Activities for checkpoints 1 through 4 are necessary for building the foundation of the network. For checkpoint 1, you will configure each device with base configurations, including setting a hostname, secret password, password encryption, and line access settings, among others. Checkpoint 2 covers configuring each switch with VLAN trunk protocol and trunk links to control how VLAN information is shared between devices handling Layer 2 functionality. Trunk links between the switches allow traffic from multiple VLANs to be forwarded between each switch to allow for switch-to-switch connectivity. By default, all VLANs are allowed. Additional steps include shutting down unused switch ports as part of VLAN configuration best practices. Checkpoint 3 covers configuring the virtual local area networks, as well as configuring specific switch ports as either access mode or trunk mode between the switches and routers by following the VLAN mapping process. Spanning tree is enabled by default on Cisco switches and is utilized to ensure that Layer 2 loops are prevented. Additional steps include configuring the port fat feature on edge ports. Implementation tasks completed in checkpoints 2 and 3 are necessary to set up a basic Layer 2 switching infrastructure for local connectivity between devices on a common network or VLAN. Checkpoint 4 covers the configuration of all local area network interfaces and wide area network interfaces with necessary parameters including IP addressing. Despite networks having numerous interface types, all of them can be configured to communicate using IP packets and by assigning IP addresses. Implementation tasks completed in checkpoints 2 and 3, as well as checkpoint 4, are used to form the basis of any network. Layer 2 and Layer 3 configurations work in tandem to ensure connectivity. Please note that only basic connectivity between devices on common networks is achieved at this point. Scroll down below the checkpoint 4 assignment, and you will see appointment reminders for your CWT validation and auth appointment call and the CWT checkup appointment call. Both will display your scheduled appointment dates and times once they are scheduled. Ensure to review the purpose of the call and any necessary appointment preparation information. Further on the page, you will have the assignments for the CWT Guided Buildup for checkpoints 5 through 8, starting with checkpoint 5. Checkpoint 5 covers configuration of static routing for routing of packets to specific destinations, such as to an individual IP or network, by manually defining where the packet should be routed. Default routes are also configured for connectivity to remote networks the device does not have a route for, such as to Internet networks, and is necessary for connectivity to the Internet. Checkpoint 6 covers configuration of dynamic routing using Cisco's proprietary dynamic routing protocol, EIGRP, while Checkpoint 7 covers configuration of dynamic routing using OSPF, an open-source dynamic routing protocol. EIGRP can only be utilized on Cisco devices, while OSPF is the most popular choice for other vendor devices as it is non-proprietary and open source. These routing protocols are in the category of interior gateway protocols used for exchanging routing information between routers within a local autonomous system. Implementation tasks completed in checkpoints 6 and 7 help achieve routing for the local network to allow communication between devices on remote subnets, such as between devices on different VLANs. Lastly, checkpoint 8 covers configuration of port address translation, which is a subset of network address translation, or NAT. NAT is necessary as private addressing is not routable on the Internet. Traffic destined for the Internet and originated from an internal or private IP address can be assigned to a public IP address and/or public IP address port combination when it traverses the gateway router to establish connectivity on the public Internet. This concludes the CWT Hands-On Guided Buildup Overview and Navigation video. Please ensure to review the video titled CWT Hands-On Summation and Exam Overview and Navigation located on the Training FAQ page prior to your CWT Tech Orientation. Once again, I hope you have a positive and productive day.